An emptiness and disappointment in the streets of Montreal here outside the Bell Centre. The Habs losing 3-1, unfortunately, against Tampa Bay. It's the second game that they lose in the Stanley Cup Finals, but we're hoping that they'll be able to take it next game. Those over 3,500 people in the Bell Centre today for a viewing party. People were very excited, but they weren't able to take it home. I'm joined by editor of Habs Eyes on the Prize, Matt Drake. Tell me, what happened tonight? Why weren't they able to win this one?
Well, a couple bad bounces and one really bad pinch by Ben Chiarot at the end of the second period. You know, if he doesn't make that pinch, if they just put it in deep, that period ends, and it's 1-1 going into the third in a game that they were dominating. Aside from that, Andrei Vasilevskiy is what went wrong. You know, this is kind of a bad taste of karma for the Habs. Carey Price has done this a few times against Toronto and against Vegas, notably, and now it's happening to them with Andrei Vasilevskiy. So they have to figure out a way to get pucks past him. They have to figure out a way to get him moving laterally, to get more traffic in front, anything to get him off his game, because he was absolutely at the top of his game tonight, and that was really the difference maker. I mean, yes, bad bounces, yes, Ben Chiarot made a bad pinch, but if Vasilevskiy waffles just a couple of those shots that went on net, this is a very different game. So.
Obviously, the Habs are very used to having an incredible goalie, but they're not used to playing against such an incredible goalie. People are saying Vasilevskiy is the best in the league right now, next to Price. So let's hope that they'll be able to take it. But who do you feel like should stand out more that maybe didn't stand out today?
Well, I think Yoel Armia played really well. I think one thing that a lot of people are talking about is whether or not you try to insert Thomas Tatar into the lineup. Maybe he could be a difference maker for them, because he hasn't really played in these playoffs. And Arturi Lehkonen went down with an injury off of a pretty nasty hit by Mikhail Sergachev. So there's a chance that Thomas Tatar, who hasn't contributed at all in these playoffs because he hasn't played, he might actually get into the next game. And, you know, we'll see what he can do. He's definitely a high-charged offensive player. Not necessarily the defensive presence that Lehkonen is, but, you know, you put him in there and maybe he could make a difference. Aside from that, I'd definitely like to see a little bit more shots from the point. So guys like Shea Weber getting that cannon going, because, again, Vasilevsky's playing so well. You need to get traffic in front, shoot something at him that he can't see, and see if you can get that in. That's how the Bolts got their first goal against Carey Price tonight, was something he couldn't see, and you have to try to do the exact same thing to Vasilevskiy.
Now, obviously, the loss today wasn't as bad as the first one. Do you feel like you've seen any improvement between these two games when it comes to the Habs and their play?
Definitely. I mean, it was night and day if you look at those two games in terms of puck possession and shots on goal. The Habs dominated that game. They deserve to win. But deserve sometimes has nothing to do with it when it comes to hockey, right? The Habs saw that a few times against Toronto, and they also saw it against Vegas. You don't always win the games that you deserve to win. But if they play like that, there's 5 more games left in this series. If they play like that 5 more times, they could win 4. They should win 4. In fact, they should win 5, but they only need 4. So hopefully they can just come out like that every single game and try to take this series.
Absolutely. Now, Habs losing 3-1, hoping for a better outcome next game in Montreal. Brittney Henriques, City News.